Bam!
Jayson Waller here with the True Underdog Podcast, and this is the Own Your Power series. That's right. I'm going to be reading part of my book during this series. There's going to be several weeks that we're finishing this out on the Own Your Power. No excuses, no bullshit. Your time is now. This is a Wall Street Journal, Amazon, and USA Today top seller. I appreciate and love each and every one of you that have downloaded the book or bought the book. You can check out and find the book at oypbook.com. That's oypbook.com. And that stands for Own Your Power. So oypbook.com. Check it out if you want to hear more. I hope you enjoy the reading of this book because I want to know, what is your underdog story? You're going to hear mine. Get excited about it. Give feedback. Make sure you give a like. Bam! Chapter 6. Principle number 6. Love your haters. Everyone has people who don't like them. It doesn't matter what your station in life is, but you can't let the haters stop you. Instead, embrace what they say and use it as fuel. The best way to show the haters not to hate is to stay in your lane and succeed. When you win, they'll question their views. They might even join your team. Don't get caught up in the negativity. Focus on your own success and teach everyone around you to do the same. In Chapter 4, I told you when Kevin and I started Power Home Solar, we had plans to have our former partners at Power Home Technologies, Ben and Eric, join us. But we had a falling out. Our deal didn't go through. They did not believe in solar. We don't want anything to do with solar, Ben said. We're going to stay with home security, have fun. The falling out happened at the end of 2014. Then, in February 2015, we were all supposed to attend a trade show event in Mexico called Monty X. It's an annual gathering for the top alarm dealers that have broken sales records. It's paid for by Monitronics, which is a national security company that provides top-rated monitoring services and installations. The four of us had been in their dealer program before the split. We don't need to go to that, Kevin said. No, we won the trip. We should go, I told him. I called Monitronics, and we got the okay because we were part of a home security company when we won, even though we moved on to solar. But we were torn. Everyone there would still be in home security. We chose to go, but we felt insecure because we were on our way out of the business. Everyone else there ran alarm companies, and we had a brand new solar company with 5 employees and no history or credentials. So there we were with our peers who'd we competed with. We had great relationships with many of them. With a few others, the relationships weren't so good. Ben and Eric were there too. It was awkward. Meanwhile, Kevin and I were excited. We were passionate about solar. We believed in it. We chatted with our peers and explained our next chapter in life. Their reactions reminded me of when I opened my first business. No one believed I'd succeed. Some of them were downright jerks. Bad idea, that won't work. Most of them didn't badmouth us to our faces, but they were passive-aggressive about what they thought, which was worse. The haters deflated our enthusiasm for a new business, and they made us feel less than. I'm sure it's happened to you at some point. You share an idea you're excited about with a friend, family member, or business associate, and they kill it right then and there. I hope it works well for you, but I wouldn't do that. The people who love us most can be our worst critics. But I had become an adult. I had already had success running 2 profitable multi-million-dollar businesses, and I learned how to use the haters as fuel to make me hungrier. The home security crowd didn't get our vision, but I could see the future. It was like I saw the world in Ultra HD, and they saw only fuzzy black and white. We left Mexico at the end of that trip a little bothered, but we channeled the pain as motivation to win in solar. I wanted to win even more. The best way to prove the haters who you are and who they can be is to show them. Haters can be used as a motivator to get into action. Use them to push yourself harder. Don't operate from the mentality that you're better than them, but show them what you're made of. Show them what could be possible for them if they dropped their mockery and focused on themselves. In other words, the way to deal with haters is to focus on your own success. Squash hate by embracing it. I had lots of haters before I was successful. There were kids who judged me in high school. They'd harass me about the aspects of my life I couldn't control, like how much money my parents made. There were my in-laws in the early days who didn't think I was good enough for Liz because I lived in a trailer park. Some of my own family doubted me when I started my first business, too. A lot of people didn't believe in my alarm business. They thought it was a joke and they mocked me. I still have haters, even after building 3 successful businesses, becoming a husband and a father who takes care of his family, and starting a solar movement to improve the world. Maybe I have more haters than ever. Nothing I do will get rid of them. Nothing you do will get rid of yours. Everyone has haters. It doesn't matter where you are in life. Are you failing in life? You have haters. Succeeding in life? You have haters. Somewhere in between, you have haters. People judge people. People want what others have. People get jealous. People hate. It's human condition. There are different types of cynics too. Some are intimidated. You might have friends from high school who follow you on social media. They watch you, they see you succeed, and then they get irritated. Some just might stop following you, mostly because they're ashamed about some aspect of their own life. You intimidate them. That doesn't make them evil or full of hate, but rather they're intimidated and insecure. Then they're the real haters. These are the people to be careful with. They might pretend to be your friends, but really, they are full of hardcore hate. They bleed it, and they bash you publicly with it. That's because these haters are jealous. Your success is their failure. And don't think you're not a hater too. There are people you hate right at this moment. Own that nasty part of yourself. Embrace the haters and own your hate. Acknowledge that disliking others and people not liking you is natural, normal, and a part of being a human being. It is the best way to channel the energy in positive, productive ways. Instead of hating and getting nasty, channel the negative emotions into something useful. Use them as motivation to take the action needed to succeed. Since you have haters no matter what, it's important to learn how to deal with it all. Here's how. Step 1. Embrace haters as part of life. Step 2. Celebrate. Haters will show you what's great about you and what you need to change. They keep you living big. Step 3. While they are worried about you growing every day, you just worry about your growth. They chase you while you chase success. Put on a show for them, let them watch. Let's talk about how. Embrace the haters. In 2016 and 2017, I started doing Facebook Live events before it was even cool. I felt a little douchey, but it was good for business. Power Home Solar here, Jayson Waller again here, etc. When I put myself out there, I attracted haters. People would say stuff like, "Dude, that's annoying. Why are you doing this all the time?" I was doing my job, staying in my lane, promoting my business. And as the company grew, the haters took note. I would get messages like this from former home security friends in different states. "Hey man, I'm in California. I'd love to get into solar. Do you ever want to open in California?" And lo and behold, many of the alarm company guys I was friends with back in 2015 were now struggling. Many of them reached out to join my company, get business advice, or go solar themselves. I embraced them. The simplest way to deal with hate is to get really obsessed with success. When someone hates you, lean into the next action you need to take to get to the next level. Celebrate success. Make sure you celebrate your success. Haters will show you what's great and what needs improvement. They keep you successful. Also, get interested in the success of others. Learn from them. Celebrate their wins too. While I was writing this book, I went to dinner with a dynamic group of friends. One runs a very successful car dealership. Another is an owner of a $5 million business. The third friend just got out of prison after 32 years. His story is being made into a movie. His name is Rick Wershey Jr. You might know him as White Boy Rick. We are 4 completely different personalities with different backgrounds, but we love each other just the same. That night, we shared our success and struggles with each other, and we celebrated everyone in the group, what they had achieved and how far they had come. It was amazing. Haters worry about your growth every day. They chase you while you chase success. So just worry about your own growth. Get obsessed with success. I love to see people successful. I love to see them accomplish their goals. I love to help them if I can, and I love to be around people who have more than me. I also love learning from them how I can be better. I always ask, what can I learn from someone who is doing better than me? When someone hates you, turn your focus the other way or help them. You know the guys at the trade show who scoffed at me? I have run into a few of them again over the years. Some I've given advice to. Others have approached me for business deals or jobs. What do? I bring them into the fold. My favorite tip for turning haters into fans is to love them back and help them. On Instagram, I can still see my haters watching. Some of them have even become fans. That's made me hungrier to succeed. It drives me harder because I won't let them be right. A $30 million company wasn't enough. Getting to $500 million wasn't either. The more people hate, the more I focus on growing to $1 billion company. That negativity can be used as fuel to show them what you're really made of. My 14-year-old daughter, London, is a great example of this tip. She was diagnosed with precocious puberty after she turned 9 and had her period. We had to see a specialist to help reverse this process because she was too young. The doctor prescribed a monthly injection, which made her gain a lot of weight. This made her insecure, and she suffered some bullying at school. Liz and I never brought any of it up because she was so tough and did not like to feel less than. However, in 2018, when she was 11, we took her off the shot. She decided to start to work on herself, working out and running. None of us are runners in our family, so she was inspiring. She shed over 40 pounds and loves her new leaner self. An 11-year-old got motivated by haters. I love that. If you're focused on success, on growing your business, you don't have time to hate anyone in return. As a byproduct of showing them you can, you show them they can too. Make them hungrier for their own success. That's the way to win, through healthy competition and pushing through the next limit. Hate in your life. You can't let haters take control of you. You can't let them beat you down or cause you to question yourself or your own worth. Hate often happens when people have different perspectives. It can happen when one person feels threatened or intimidated by another person. Jealousy breeds hate. Insecurity breeds hate. Lack of confidence breeds it too. Here's a great way to drop the hate if it comes up. Start by getting curious about the other person. What would make them hate? Where did they come from? What do they think, believe, and value? How did their environment shape them? If you catch yourself hating, check your ego and put yourself in the other person's position. The more you understand someone else's behavior and position, the more you release both of you from hate. If you give people or situations a chance without predetermining judgments or outcomes, you'll be amazed what doors will open. Besides, carrying around hate for another person is more destructive to you than it is to them. You're not doing this for them. You're doing it for you. Holding on to negative thoughts about anyone holds you back. Remember how Ben and I had a falling out in 2014? Today, he works for Power Home Solar as our chief sales officer. Ben wasn't a big hater, but we struggled for a period. To release myself from my own frustrations and repair the relationship, I had to get curious about how he thinks and acts. Once we worked through our differences, we were good. I love the guy. He adds massive value to the company and to my life. Sometimes hate can be a mirror to the truth you need to see about yourself. Get curious about yourself too. Getting curious is like being a detective. Trying to understand the other person gives you power, while being consumed by hate takes it away. If hate is just feedback, it becomes a tool for growth. Channel hater energy with a hate list. My business partner Kevin and I kept a notepad with a list of names of people who hated us. I'm not kidding. We used it as fuel in the business. We'd read the names when we were frustrated about the growth of our business, and we'd envision the day that when these people would want to do business with us. That notepad listed at least 20 people. That list motivated me. When someone was mean to me to a point where I couldn't get past it, their name went on that list. This turned the negative energy into positive fuel for success. Before I wrote the name down, resentment was controlling me. Once the name was on the list, I got it out. I owned the crap out of these emotions. When someone hates you and you can't get over it, put their name on your list. Own those negative feelings and channel them into positive action. It's important to follow through here. Don't read the list to get more resentful and angrier. Use it to purge the bad feelings from your heart. Then again, focus on your success. As you keep reaching your goals and thriving despite their criticism, there are 3 trajectories the haters may follow. 1, they'll become fans and start loving you. 2, your success will make them more and more miserable. They'll usually go into a dark abyss at this point. They'll resent you, but they'll go away. Or 3, they'll stick around, despise you, and follow you on Facebook or social media. They'll let their hate consume them and sometimes get to you. But as hate grows, it will hold them back more and more, and you'll keep on growing. The idea is to get everyone to choose door number 1. There's no sunshine behind doors 2 and 3. No free car, no speedboats, no trip for 2 to Hawaii. Mostly, there's just a fuck you sandwich. But you can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. Get successful and hope they'll become a fan, partner, or ally, but don't chase them if they refuse to come around. Sometimes haters hate because they are suffering. They are stuck. They don't know how to get out of the hole they are in. When they see you succeed, it drives them crazy with rage or envy. But they're hurting. When you've got them on your list, ready for the day that they come around, it's a way to relieve their suffering. If they're open to it, it gives them hope. With your own negative emotions aside, you can focus on expanding your own thinking. By clearing your mind, you can start to think bigger. Haters need a bigger mission. Anyone trying to break someone else down is someone who needs a bigger mission. Making fun of or judging a way a person looks, how successful they are, what they do, is hate that comes from insecurity. A hater might dismiss a person for the way they look or speak, or because they come from somewhere else, or because they're uneducated, like me, or overeducated like someone with 3 or 4 academic degrees. In some cases, a hater will attack a person's choices, beliefs, or more commonly these days, political persuasion. You might not even think you're a hater, but I have news for you. Even if you have a passing thought about someone else that would not be empowering to you or to them, if they knew you held that opinion, then you're a hater. If you've left negative comments on someone's social feed, sorry to say, you're a hater. People claw other people down when they don't feel good about themselves, which really comes down to not having a big enough mission. So anytime you find yourself hating, look at what you're doing. Expand your mission. It will bring you back to your power. Racehorses don't look to the other horses on their right or left. If they did, they may easily collide at those incredible speeds and become injured or die. So they have blinders on to keep them looking straight ahead. They only see in front of them. The bottom line on hate. By the end of 2015, the business had cash flow problems. It was losing money and we weren't paying ourselves. In our line of business, the normal practice is to prepay 80% of whatever we sell up front and within 60 days before we see $1. So the more we sold, the bigger the cash flow problems became. Before I hit rock bottom, I reached out to the guy who had bought our former business, as well as a dozen other investors, to try and secure some fast cash to stay afloat. Look, I've got $300,000 in accounts. I don't have the cash flow to buy the rest of the equipment because I'm paying for everything up front, I told him. No one I called was interested. Hey man, you want to invest in the company? We all have these accounts sold. It's a cash flow problem, I'd say. Nah, man, I really don't want to. came some form of the reply repeatedly. I went down the list of contacts over the years, and no one would invest. In 2016, and this was when I sold my lake house and put all the money back into the business, almost $2 million. Ironically, just after the sale, one of my biggest haters of all time wanted to invest $100,000. I took it, though I didn't need it. We'd used that money from the sale of the lake house, and that helped with the cash flow problems. So all I did with this investment was put it in an account as a reserve in case we ever needed it. I never used it, not one penny. I gave it back 3 years later. By that time, the money had grown almost 8 times, and that investor got a massive payment. That investor was my mother-in-law. Remember that we'd been on such bad terms that she wouldn't let me see my daughter be born? She hated my guts, talked shit about where I lived, and tried to stop me and my wife from being together because I was quote unquote trailer trash. Again, I don't blame. I understand where she was coming from. Still, I had to get over myself to take her money. When I did, it was even more fuel to succeed. As we listed the lake house for sale, Liz told me that her mom had some money. Should we ask her for a loan in case we need it? Liz asked me. Fuck no, I don't want a loan from your mom, I said stubbornly. Liz talked to her mom, and her mom seemed to see it as a worthwhile investment and not a loan. I put the money in a bank account. Then I sold the house and used the payout from it to fund the company and get a bank loan. But I was driven by my mother-in-law's money that sat in that bank account. When the company bought her out 3 years later, her investment ended up 8 times what it started at. It felt good. There was no malice or pride. I gave it with grace. Liz's mom and I have come a long way in our relationship. Today, it's one of mutual respect. She wouldn't have invested the money if not, and I couldn't have taken it. Whenever people say you can't, or you hear a similar negative voice in your head, all you need to do is move forward. Come from a place of, I can, you can, we all can. Put your head down and take the next step forward. Your job is to defy the odds. Be an underdog. Everybody has haters, and that's okay. Embrace them. You don't have to like me or love me. Either way, you're watching me. And if you watch me too much, you won't be growing. I'm not watching you. I'm worried about my team, my company, my employees, and my family. If you see me check into an exclusive boutique hotel or drive a Lamborghini, be proud of me. Don't judge me. I work my ass off for it, and if I can, you can. Nobody sprinkled fairy dust on me or the next guy. Every ounce of energy, every sentence, every hour, every minute spent worrying about someone else will only hold you back. Embrace your haters and focus on success. It's a game changer. Here's the other important thing to take note of when building your biggest dreams. Don't be afraid to let go. As an entrepreneur, when you build something from the ground up and know it better than anyone else, it's hard to see inefficiency happen and not want to step in and fix it right away. It's harder when surrounded by haters. But I learned it's far more important to give people that opportunity and let them either sink or swim. Letting go is so hard, and ignoring the haters is truly what I needed to learn to take our business to the next level. Knowing that would have allowed our business to potentially scale faster than we already have. Thank you so much for listening to the True Underdog Podcast Own Your Power series. Make sure you subscribe and listen next week. We'll be catching up on more of the book coming up, and you can always go to oypbook.com to get your copy of the book right now. Own Your Power. No excuses, no bullshit. Your time is now. Again, thank you to all the subscribers out there, and thank you for everyone supporting me in the book, making it an Amazon USA Today and a Wall Street Journal top seller. Bam!
And that concludes another episode here on True Underdog. If you're interested in hearing more, make sure you subscribe at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the YouTube channel. You can always visit TrueUnderdog.com, subscribe to all of them. Make sure you check out our newest episodes coming out on Mondays and Thursdays. True Underdog, baby. Bam!